Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 24 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you guys are new to this series, definitely consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on this content as well as others. Leave a like and a comment, really helps out with the engagement, plus it's just motivating to see. And check out some of the older videos in the series so that you are up to date on everything we got going. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into episode 24. Alright, episode 24 here. So, just to do a quick recap, we are taking a look at some of the stuff that we did in the previous episode. The Skelton to Midhurst commuter train, the Midhurst to Oakengates commuter train, and the Oakengates to Skelton commuter trains. The reason that we're starting off over here is we're getting a little bit of congestion going on with just all of the small trains. Some of the blocks on the main line here, particularly between Skelton and our interchange here, our rail interchange. Some of these blocks are quite long, and having all these little trains on there is causing a bit of congestion. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to come into my line or my vehicle manager, just make sure I set both of these to only show the ones in view, and let's go to our commuter trains here. I'm going to sell one from each line, but I'm going to double the capacity, like that. And actually, this is the Midhurst to Oakengates. I'm going to let them have 4 still, just because I don't really have anything else running on that line. But for these other lines, we are going to drop it down to 3 vehicles, but double the length. Shouldn't interfere at all with them being to fit within the blocks that we've already established, but hopefully it will cut down a little bit on the congestion by having a fewer trains, but with higher capacity. So overall, we actually are adding capacity to the line by doing this. And it shouldn't affect the speed at all, because these trains, because they're multiple units, they're able to propel themselves. So essentially 2 trains is just as fast as 1, because those 2 trains are able to each propel themselves. So that's just a nice little fix there. And I think that that's just going to make this whole line run a bit smoother. Because what we were seeing, and another thing that we're going to fix, is we're having a little bit of a backup when it comes to the crude. So you'll notice that this train is sitting here for quite a while waiting for the crude. And I don't really know if this is an issue that we've had for a while and I just haven't noticed, or if it's kind of a new issue. I'm wondering if there's some congestion on this line that I'm unaware of. And I really don't see any. These trains seem to be pretty well spaced. Not really sure why these are all queuing here. I don't want to speed it up and see. Yeah, so it kind of looked like it was just something to do with the traffic. That's okay, though. They do have traffic lights, so that should work. Anyway, what I was saying. It doesn't look like we have too much congestion on here, so perhaps we're just not getting enough crude to this station fast enough. And maybe that's something that we have to look into down the line when we do a big rail rework, inevitably. Make these platforms longer and actually get some more powerful trains in here, some longer freight trains. But anyway, if this train is waiting here and the next crude train heading up to Hodston comes in, we have enough queuing distance to allow the commuter trains to exit this line, but not to get back on. They will sit, the fuel train will sit right here, the tail of it, not allowing the trains to get back on. So what I want to do is shift where this is joining up further down the track. So I'm actually going to put the merge in right where these signals are. So let's grab this. Maybe we'll go a little bit faster than 30. Maybe we'll bring it up to 40 miles an hour. So let's do a 40 mile an hour merge off there. 40 and 40. And then similarly, we'll do another 40-mile-an-hour merge here. And another one here. And then once this gets out of the way, we're going to come back here, grab this track, hook all of that up, and then we can actually go ahead and de-electrify these portions of the track here. They do not need to be electric if they are not being used on this mainline track. Just like that. Okay, now we do need to get some signals in here. So let's take a look here. We're going to put a one-way signal there, and then I'm actually going to replace that. Yes, these actually should be one-ways. So let's get that fixed. There we go. And now we do not need this signal any longer. I'm also going to remove those so that I can even those out a little bit. Just trying to see how much space we need here. Right about there. So we should be able to get away with a couple signals right there. And then we'll have a signal there and a signal there. A little bit further down for that one. Just trying to I'll put a signal here to allow the trains to get off of the main line. That is my goal. I want them to get off of the main line as quickly as they can. But now what this allows us to do is this gives us a nice long queuing distance for the freight trains coming in. So let's actually see this. This will actually be a perfect example. So if I go ahead and speed this up, we have the next oil crude train coming in here, and it's going to wait. So let's pause so you can get a good idea. It's going to wait here, and our old merge was right here. So now by giving them that extra distance, it doesn't conflict with them at all. And now we're good to go. Okay, so let's talk about what we are doing today, our main project of the day. I would like to connect Oakengates once again. So Oakengates getting a lot of love. It's certainly gone long enough without any love. So I think this is going to be good for Oakengates really getting it tied in. And the place that I would like to tie it in next is Dukinfield. So I plan to do this with both highway and with a rail. So why don't we talk about the rail first? I'm going to continue the commuter train aspect of what we've got going on here, but with Dukinfield this time. So in order to do that, let's think about how we want to lay out this station. So let's come in here. I'm just going to pause it so that they don't build in our area. But I'm kind of wondering how it would look. First of all, let's make this station a little bit larger. And it's kind of on an angled road, so it looks like that's all we're going to be able to get away with, which is okay. And now, I would love to be able to put in some tracks here. Let's actually do something like this. And then if I remove these tracks, we've learned that this is in the same platform now. Right? Pretty sure. So let's see, how many do I need? I need 3 to get that length. And then if we get passenger buildings, we can get some platforms here. Let's see what the issue is. Oh, yeah. So I think I just need to fix these lines. So at Oakengates, use platform 2. And then at Oakengates, use platform 4. There we go. And now if we come in here, we'll put some stairs in down on this end. And we'll put some stairs in there. So we can imagine these stairs go out here, and then these stairs allow them to cross side to side. And then we'll do something like that. And now if I connect these up, and I'm not really sure why I'm doing it this way, I just kind of think it's interesting. I like to do things that are a little bit, you know, maybe a little bit different. But then we can get a couple merges in here. And then we can do the same over here. Oh, and I don't have enough space. All right, let's see if I can shrink these down at all. Get it as close as I can. Yeah, something like that. So that they could, in theory, come out of one platform here and get back on the line going a totally separate way. Anyway, what I'm also going to do is let's take this road and let's bring it right up here, keeping it nice and flat. And let's pull this road out just a little bit. And then let's make this connection here. Yeah, I think that looks interesting, if nothing else. And I like interesting. Interesting is fun. So let's come through here, just kind of smooth some of this out. That'll give them a nice little area to develop, and it gives them an interesting station. And I honestly wonder if I can get a little building in here. Yeah, I can. So let's do something like this. Just a little building right there. Yeah, I like that a lot. Now we are going to remove this. I'm going to put in our last bit of track. Just making sure that this is nice and flat so that I can get some good merges in here. 30 miles an hour. Sounds pretty good to me. Something like that. And then I just realized for some reason I must have grabbed the wrong track when I was building this. There we go. So now this is all electric, and now we can let this game run once again. So now we have quite a station here in Midhurst, or I'm sorry, rather Oakengates. And we should be able to do something a little interesting with it. So one thing that we're going to do is we are going to go straight through this mountain, kind of curve up through this valley, and head up to Dukinfield. Now up here at Dukinfield, we kind of need to think about where we want our station. And I think we want it to be fairly central. I might end up moving this facility. Here's what we're going to do. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this road. And then I'm actually going to get rid of that altogether. So let's keep this road going nice and straight. Just for now. Let's get rid of this road depot. We will relocate it before we forget about it. So let's just put that in right there. Okay. So now, can I fit a train station in here? And if the answer is yes, is that where I want it? I think I do. So let's see, if I spin this around here, kind of put that in there. Let's see, maybe 3 platforms there. Get rid of this one. And then if I put a terminus. So that's 160 meters. Oh, that's going to be too long. I was kind of hoping that it would just go right there. And then it would cross the tracks and then carry on. So if that's not going to fit there, interesting. Okay, so what if we get rid of this and I put it on the other side? Okay, so if I put this in here, make it the same size. Man, I wish I had the Move It mod. For those of you who have played City Skylines, it would be absolutely invaluable whenever you want to just shift something over just ever so slightly. But that looks good. Okay, so that is in there. Okay, and I didn't want to do that. So let's pull this out again. Connect that up, and now I'm going to pull this road out straight so that I can delete that. Alright, so now, where does this fit in? Alright, so it will fit right here. And I am going to end up blasting through quite a lot. So I wonder if the play is actually to kind of angle it. Would that look interesting? No, I don't like that at all. What if we put this in here? I'm going to do 2 platforms, 160 meters. And I just need to make sure that it's in catchment of this bus stop. So if I put that in there, yes. So those are in catchment of one another. It's a little bit of a walk, but that's okay. And now I am going to back this out just a little bit. And now if I come in here with some tracks, keep those nice and flat, coming through there, and then I'll grab this road, and I will connect that up. And I'm actually going to upgrade this with bus lanes up to there, just to hopefully allow the vehicles to have an easier time getting into the city. And now let's see if I were to grab this. Is that smoother? Yes, it is. So there is a railroad crossing coming into the city. Not sure how we feel about that. You guys will have to let me know. But then I kind of envision this coming down here. So let's take a look at our terrain here. And you can see the height of the mouse cursor here, but I'm envisioning going kind of along this edge here, because this track is at 100 meters and we need to get down to like 20. Yeah, 18. So let's kind of start our descent here, and I'm going to pick, maybe if I go like 85, something like that. So this kind of point right here is kind of where we want to be. That's at 75. So if I kind of raise that up just a little bit. And let's make that fill. So that's cutting off there to the side. And we'll bring that track along with it. And then I'm actually just going to smooth this out almost like, you know, as if it had always just kind of, this point had been like a little bit more pronounced. Kind of like that. So we can just imagine that it's kind of always been like that. Perfect. Okay, and let's check our bus route before we go. I actually would love to redo the bus lines here. So let's get rid of that stop. Can probably stay, so can that one. Yeah, those can all probably stay. What I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna shift a bus stop to be right over here. So now this is kind of our bus circulator. And if we go into, so this is the clockwise one. Let me get this one out of the way. Oh, this actually needs another, this needs another stop. Okay, so now if I come in here at Dukinfield, this one will go to platform 3. There we go. Should be able to get rid of these waypoints without affecting anything, but let's check this line. So this is going to go Lower Dukinfield to Manor Road, North Road, St. John's, and Queens. This one's going Lower Dukinfield to Queens, St. John's, North, and then Manor. So that just automatically shifted over there, which is very nice. Let's see if we have some better buses. Oh, we actually do. The Sour Touchers. They go 31 miles an hour. That's really good. For inner city, though, I'm going to stick with a little bit higher capacity. Go with these guys. And maybe get one more bus on there. These Dalmers. There we go. However, for this inner city route, I will absolutely take the better speed. Absolutely. That's not even a question. Okay, so we have a nice little bus circulator going on over here now. And now we can work on getting this track across here. So let's go back into our terrain view. Let's kind of see where we want to be. That is pretty flat right there. That's also a huge bridge. But I think that that's going to work really well. It's generally going in the direction that we want it to. So let's go to about there. And then I'm going to change this to our modern bridge. Put that in. And now we're going to do a little bit more fill on either end here. So let's take both of those tracks out. And we'll connect that up. That looks terrible, but we will fix it. That one looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this up again, imagining that this point was like a little bit more pronounced than it actually is. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. So let's grab this terrain here. Let's do that. And I kind of like the rock wall face right there. You know, obviously we'll come in here, remove some of the trees on the rock, so that doesn't look very good. And you know, who knows, we might even come in here with a little bit more rock. Maybe not that much, that was quite a bit. So if we come back in here with like some grass, and just feather out along here, maybe even a little dark grass. And then maybe a little bit of just the standard grass. There we go. But I think that looks good. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then we can come in here with our next line, carry it right across. Yeah, I like how that looks. And then we're actually going to curve this highway down into the valley and take it right through there. But let's finish this rail line while we're working on it. So back into our terrain view here. We'll grab this. Let's see. Kind of want to maintain like, I don't really want to go any higher than like 70 while we're leaving here. So let's see what we're doing. We're going to grab a tunnel. Where does it pick up the tunnel? Right there. And then it cuts straight through here. I think if we could get down to like 55, that would be even better. And now that I'm thinking about it, should we actually kind of be curving? Maybe. Something like that. Ooh, that's giving us a really short tunnel there. I don't love that, although it kind of gives me an idea. I'm going to put that in just for a minute, and then I'm going to come into my terrain tools. I want to see if this will work. So if I grab that height, kind of pull this out a little bit, and then I delete that track back to there. Make that flat. And then when I connect that back up, now we've got 2 sets of tunnels. That one's a little short. Let's make that one a little bit longer. So now when I connect that up, I need to make it even higher. So now when I connect that up, we've got 2 tunnels going along the side here, and now obviously we need to smooth that out, make it look a little bit more natural. Although luckily, because of the trees, this is looking pretty good already. And now let's come down here. Can't remember what that was at. We'll just leave it at 1. I'm just going to go with the sugar maple and the European. Just kind of fill in some of these areas that I kind of messed up. And then probably come up here and remove some of the trees from this rock face. Yeah, that looks good. And I kind of like our double tunnel thing we've got going on here. I think that looks cool. Tunnel comes back out into the open, another tunnel, and then these both punch out right here. Okay, so let's come down here now. Let's kind of think about where we want to go. So if I pull these through, there's going to be a lot of terrain view in this episode. I kind of want to go to there. And now I just kind of want to grab this, see what it wants to do to get over here. I want to keep a nice, smooth connection. It wants to give us a little bridge here, which I actually kind of like. Yeah, I actually like that a lot. And now we'll grab this track, pull it all the way back down here, and now we have our rail line complete. It's going to kind of curve. Got a little bridge, we got a bunch of tunnels, huge bridge, and then it takes us right up into here. Okay, so now let's make our crossover. Do it at 30 miles an hour. Too much slope. That is interesting. Let's try it again. And we'll bring it out to 30. Wants to go to 31, that's okay. There we go. I'm not really sure why that fought me so hard there, but it did. Okay, and now if we come back down here, we can go ahead and put that signal on there. And now let's auto signal this, and let's see how does 200 look? If I go out to here, what, 250 maybe? Let's see what 250 looks like. Yeah, I like 250. And I think if we start it right about there, that'll work nicely. And I think that that's a good distance for commuter train. I don't know. Somebody might comment and be like, that's absurd. You know, that's way too close. But, you know, what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a guy playing train games. And I should actually back this signal off a little bit because I should give them a cross here. So we'll go out to 30 miles an hour, cross over there, and then I'll go ahead and put the one-way signal back in there. Okay. And I said that we would let the game run, and I completely didn't once I started tearing this apart. So that is my bad, but we're good now. And we got some new buses going, and that is just awesome to see. The faster buses. I'm all about it. One thing that I was also thinking while we're here is I would love to upgrade these to have a bus lane. I think it's kind of an oversight that I didn't put a bus lane in before, but it will allow our civilian traffic, you know, our non-public transit, our non-industrial traffic, to hopefully move at a faster speed. Now we're having a little issue here, and I wonder if I get rid of that. Yeah, so that will let me fix that, and then when I put that back in, all of our lines work again. So now let's come back in here. Let's keep doing our upgrading with the bus lanes. And let's see, I don't need bus lanes through here because I don't have any lines on here that use them. However, bus lanes would be valuable up here, certainly. Similarly, don't need them through here. Don't need them here. I really only need them here. And then we're going to run the bus lanes all the way back down this highway system, all the way down to Hive, right to there. So now you can see the faster cars overtaking the buses. And while we're here, let's go ahead and get the new buses on these lines. Just so that we can really take advantage of that speed. They will do 31. I believe the old buses are limited to 25 miles an hour. I don't know. Let's take a look real quick. We were using these Gaganows, I believe. Yeah, because they were the fastest. Limited to 25. These new sour Tushers. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. 31 miles an hour, which is great. Okay. So now we got some new buses, we got some new bus lines, we have our train. Let's go ahead and work on this highway. I'll back that out to there. Actually, before we do, why don't we get the new line set up? In here to Oakengates. At Oakengates, I'm going to have them use platform 3. And let's have this be like a dark, kind of darker color. So this is going to be CT for our commuter train. And then this is going to be Dukinfield to Oakengates. Just like that. And we're not going to have them wait because this is just commuter train. Kind of you know, it's just going to run back and forth. And I think we can go back over here to Midhurst and actually use this facility to buy the vehicles. Okay. Sorry about all that. Let's see. We want these. And we want 2 cars. And how many do we want? Maybe 4? I think that's a good number. We'll make them that purple color or that pink color. Violet, whatever it is. And we will throw them on that line. And then just to confirm, there we go. Alright, so now we have this road, and we are going to take this and curve this down. We don't want bus lanes on here, so we will get rid of those. So something like this. So if I kind of bring this down here, get a little space, pull that back up. And now I should be able to make clean curves like that. And I've kind of found that that's like the best way to do these highways is do the straight portions first that are easy to line up, and then come back and do the curved portions. So now let's see. So I think a nice curve like that would do nicely. So if I grab that and pull a straight portion through there, and that does really bad things to that bridge. So what if I do something like that? That looks pretty good. It's going to be tight here, but then we can kind of rejoin when we're over there. So let's make that curve, and then connect that one up. And now if we go into our terrain here, I am going to want an interchange in here. So let's come in, and let's kind of level out a bit of a pad to work with in here. So let's kind of take this contour line and just fill this whole thing in. Just that I have a nice area to work with. And then we can kind of go through, smooth this out like that. So that kind of gives us a nice area, and I'm thinking we're going to come straight through here. So if I use my terrain view for just a minute, just to get some nice straight lines. That we know are on flat terrain. So let's get those in. That will work nicely. And now I am going to have this interchange heading off to Reading. Not sure, when we're going to get there, but I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Let's get a bridge like that. This is looking really good. And then I'm just going to branch this off. Like that at a nice straight line. And then let's start our climb up here. And this just does not want to cooperate. There we go. So we'll make that connection there. And I did not want that to be a bridge. I wanted that to be fill. So we're going to have to come back, redo this portion. See how that slope looks? That looks really good. And now let's see. This is going to be... Let me see. This is going this way. Yeah. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Or I guess not really even thinking out loud. I'm just speaking. So I'll have a nice gradual slope through there. And then I'll probably just kind of run this generally off in that direction. So now, if you're coming up here and you want to head towards Reading, you can. If you're coming up here and you want to head towards Dukinfield, you can. If you're coming from Dukinfield and you want to head towards Reading, we're going to need a merge that way. Right? Pretty sure. So let's get a nice road in like that. Let's kind of curve this one down here. Tie that in. Then branch that into here. Okay, and now this is going to come down here. And that's going to connect there. Now, the only movement that we still don't have is if you're coming from Reading and you want to head towards Oakengates. That is the movement that we still lack. So the question is, how do we want to make that movement, and is there an easy way to do it? I mean, we could make like a bridge here. I don't know. Kind of tricky. Could just cross. That's lame, though. That is no fun. Let me see. I'm just trying to think about this. Just trying to envision it. So if you're coming down and you want to go towards Oakengates, you can cross up here and then cross again. That could work. Could work. I could use like a tunnel, like an underpass. Come underneath. Seems kind of ridiculous, but let's try it. It might be interesting. So let's see. If I branch that off there, doesn't ruin that too horribly. How's that slope? It's a little aggressive. So now you're going to branch off here. I'm going to have you kind of come straight for a minute. But now I kind of want you to just get it road level. And this is probably going to be so ridiculous for just like a rural highway intersection. But I'm kind of all about it. Let's see, I want it to be a little bit more gradual. And that is really steep. So it looks like I need to go even further. This is completely absurd at this point. I'm just trying to think, is there like an easier way to do this that I'm just not recognizing? Like, what if I branch off here and just go underneath? So what if I grab this and I just kind of redo this? Make it a little bit wider. And then I connect in here. I just want to make sure that this connection is at a 90. And now that gives me a little bit more space to work with. So now if I grab a road, I come through here. Yeah, see, I need to make it longer. So if I grab a road, that is still so aggressively steep. How was that? It's not bad. How's that look? That looks absurd. That looks absolutely ridiculous. Let's flatten out the terrain first, because that's how we decided that we are going to decorate these, is just by generally flattening them out. Oh, I kind of like it. It's kind of so ridiculous that that I like it. So we're gonna go with it, and then we'll connect that up. Flip that around. And now let's see if I can make this a little bit smoother. Yeah, that looks okay. Now if I pull that over just a little bit more, just so that I have enough space to make that merge. Yeah, that's ridiculous, but I'm kind of all about it. Let's see, I'm going to pull that in there a little bit more so that I can now make a nice tunnel through there. But first, we have to connect our highway. Almost completely forgot that we still had a highway to connect. So if I get a road generally like that, and then another road coming like that. Now I'll grab this, connect that in, connect those in. And I should be able to make those connections. And we'll just smooth all of this out. All of this road. So now that looks pretty good. This area looks good. We have the ridiculous interchange. And now we're going to come right through here. And I'm thinking that we're going to connect into Oakengates along this road. So let's make a nice, again, level pad to work with. And actually, I'm going to keep this one pretty harsh so that I kind of know what I'm working with. And then as far as where this highway is going, I'm just kind of going to aim it generally down towards Midhurst. I'm not overly concerned as to where it's going right now. So we'll kind of get that just generally aimed down there. And then I would love to be able to, I'm just going to use this as a kind of a guide road. And let's come in here, let's take out a bunch of these trees. Okay, so now that will work. I do want it to be bi-directional. So Put that in there, and now I can go ahead and get rid of my guide road. And now let's see. I'm gonna branch a road off here. And let's grab it. Let's kind of do what we normally do. Working with our slopes here. And I had it for a second. There we go. And let's make that fill. Let's see how the slopes look. It's okay. That's not bad. I think it'll look better once it's all smoothed out. And now similarly, we'll go ahead and bring that down. Man, and that's what that wants to look like. I think we can make that look a little bit better once we kind of clean this up. Like, that looks really aggressive, but I think it's going to look better when we work with the slopes. So let's kind of do that here. Let's grab like this height. Let's pull that out. Kind of pull it over here. Just kind of extend this. Just to work with it generally. And then if I get like a nice road coming up here, I'll pull this straight for a little bit. Now, how does that look? I'm going to bow it up just a little bit, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete like these last couple sections and reconnect it just to make it a little bit smoother. And I really don't like what's going on there, so let's try it one more time. See if we can make it a little bit smoother. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And now we're just going to make a nice clean connection here. I'm going to take this off at a right angle. Get a nice curve down here. And then we'll curve that in at a 90. So that is our highway connection. And now we can come back through here and just kind of smooth a lot of this stuff out, smooth that out. And now I'm just going to kind of try and make this a little bit more random with the terrain, so it doesn't look so artificial. Okay, and now we just need to make these connections, so I'm kind of wondering if I can just grab the 2-lane road, 2-lane highway, and just make these connections. It's kind of far. Yeah, and that bridge is just not viable, or is it? Considering we've been completely destroying terrain up until this point in this episode, I think we're going to allow it. So let's get that in there. And then if I grab this, connect that into there. Yeah. We're going to allow it. I am going to back out both of these bridges just a little bit and make them fill. Like that. And then this one, I'll allow that to go the whole way. So similarly, we'll just kind of make that look like it belongs. And now we have a highway connection into Oakengates and a rail connection, and we are right on time. I think this is going to bring us to the end of the episode, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, definitely consider subscribing to the channel so you can stay up to date on this series and others. Leave a like and a comment. It really helps out with the video engagement, and it's just super motivating to see. If you got nothing to say, just let me know how your day's going. And I just saw that we have some trucks running through here, and that's not what we want. We don't want trucks running through there. We want them to take the side road. So let's fix that. So where's Dukinfield halt? That's Dukinfield West. And then after Dukinfield halt, come up here. There we go. There we go. Not sure where there's the other waypoint. Okay, perfect. Anyway, guys, this is going to bring us to the end of the episode. If you made it this far, like I said, subscribe, like, comment, whatever floats your boat. Until the next time, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.